Hi there, this is Melanie for Scrap Academy. This week it's all about cutting tools, and today I like to show you my cutting tools and what I'm doing with it. Again, I found another tool that I haven't used for a long time, and today I like to show you what you can do with it. On my table now you can see all the cutting tools that I found in my favorite room. There are my scissors and cutting boards, there's a knife, but there's also a metal ruler, and I really love this to cut papers. The most important cutting tool for me is my cutting board. It has two sliders on this plastic rail, and you can remove them so they can be replaced easily. And for me it was very important that I can get these replacement cutting tools in my local craft store, and so I chose this cutting board. The measurements on this board are in inches as well as in centimeters, and it's about 17 inches and 43 centimeters. My next tool is the small guillotine from Tim Holtz, with which I only cut my photos. And if possible, you should not cut photos with a cutting board, because coated or rubberized surfaces can quickly make your cutting blades dull, and so it's better to use this guillotine because it sharpens itself, and so it's perfect for this job. Here we have about 6 inches or a little more than 15 centimeters. When it comes to fussy cutting, I really love my Stampin' Up! Scissors because it's really sharp from the front to the tip, and I have them for years now and it's still great. As a small replacement, or to cut out little circles, I have a pair of nail scissors from the drugstore, but I do not use them really often. This cutter I do not use often too, not for layouts, but for me it's indispensable for cutting a bigger cardboard, for example for a shaking window in the mini album cover or something like that. We come to the tool which isn't really a cutting tool, but I really love cutting papers with my metal ruler, so it gets these rough edges, and I really love this on layouts. Of course, I love my distress tool too. If you don't have one, you can also use your scissors to distress your paper. And this is my fringe scissors, which I didn't use for a very long time, but today I thought about using it again, and I like to show you how you can make really beautiful embellishments for your layout. For the layout I picked out 4 design papers, and after cutting off the design stripe, I started to cut them into a kind of square with the measurements of around about 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch. Here you saw me cutting with a metal ruler. Now I glue them down, and you see I only make sure that the one with the rainbows is relatively straight. And now the cutting knife is used in connection with the cutting board because I cut through several layers of paper with glue on it, and I don't want the blade of my board to get sticky from that glue. And I can simply remove the glue from the cutter with a adhesive remover. That's not the problem. Now I stick my photo on a layer of vellum and cut this with a cutting board. In the next step, I cut almost squares again from the design paper scraps in order to cut leaves out of this later. And for this I fold the squares diagonally and cut out the shape of a leaf with my scissors in 2 layers. With the French scissors, I now cut the open sides of the leaves, but you have to be careful not to cut too far in the middle, because otherwise your leaf will become very thin and could tear apart in the middle. When you are finished, you can unfold the leaves, and you can already see if you turn them a little when unfolding, this gives a beautiful shape. Now I put one or another leaf behind my photo to see how the whole thing looks like. Here you can already see which leaves and which arrangement I have chosen, and I already put one of my other embellishments to the top of one of the papers. And now I stick the leaves on and put them behind the photos, and now glue the photo down with adhesive pads, and I start decorating. And although I really like white spaces on my layout, I decided that this is too much for me, and so I tear the paper down at this point and stick a piece of cardstock behind it. And so I had a place for some leaves again and glued down some of them and embellished it with some of the flowers again. And then I found another small label, and yes, I'm ready. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a lot of fun. Hop over to the Scrap Academy Facebook group and get more inspiration. Hope to see you soon. Bye.